Alrighty, the men's elimination chamber match is set. The winner faces off against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. And as for the women, we've got 6 that are bound, determined to cement their place at WrestleMania 41 and hopefully walk out as a women's champion. And we've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, longtime rivals, sometime friends, all-time Canadians that are ready to beat the shit out of each other in an unsanctioned match. And this Saturday at Elimination Chamber, and what do you mean we've got a week until Elimination Chamber happens? What the fuck are you goddamn talking about? Well, holy shit. Let's just throw a couple title matches on next week's TV show and we'll call it good. God, we should program this shit better, but nevertheless, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Kakalaki. Okay, there were good parts of this show, but this review isn't going to take very long, and as for next week's show, I will likely review it, but there's a mystery movie next week, so that takes priority. And then the same thing is going to apply to the March 3rd Raw, because there's another mystery movie. My promise to you is this. I will get you to the Raw after WrestleMania, and then I'm going to maybe just go to every other week or something, because even though there are times where I'm enjoying Raw, getting kind of burned out, there's not a lot of material to sink my teats into. Have fun on seeing that. So, yeah, 17,500 capacity, and they had about 15,000 people, according to WrestleTix. Talents arrive. The Daytona 500 winner drives AJ. Thankfully, things ended up better than they did for Dale Earnhardt Sr. His favorite album was The Wall. Moving on, recaps of Sami being destroyed by Kevin Owens. I'm thinking they're going to fake us out at the Chamber, and we're going to find a way to possibly get to that match at WrestleMania. But then again, Randy Orton hasn't returned, so there we are. So, Sami Zayn gets a pop, talks about his history with Owens, from the Indies to now. And it's funny that commentary is trying to sell this like, oh my god, the ultimate betrayal by Kevin Owens. He's betrayed Sami before, multiple times. This is nothing new. It's not necessarily a fresh coat of paint, but they're trying here. He's like, there's no forgetting this time. I want to fight at the Chamber. Pierce says, we've all told you no. The doctors, everything, the popcorn vendors, the cotton candy vendors, the person that parked my car said no. Actually, they said no once you didn't offer them a tip. I kid, of course. I'm sure that Adam Pierce is an excellent tipper. A big tipper, perhaps. Moving on from this, he says, I can't do this. But Sami says, I'm not taking no for an answer. Apparently he read the indictment. And Pierce says, I know. So here's the thing. I can't sanction this. He's basically saying, whatever happens, Kevin Owens could beat you up, pile drive you, destroy you, and we wouldn't be held liable. And Sami basically says, I don't care. He could do that to me, but I could do all that to him. Pierce says, it's not official, it's unsanctioned. Except there's going to be a referee. It's going to be in a ring, and it's going to be on pay-per-view. Or streaming, whatever. I know it's like the lights out stipulation, but still, the whole unsanctioned thing it's kind of ridiculous. All right. Oh boy, the Judgment Day stuff is still going on. Liv apparently forgot the rest of her shorts. Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know you're thinking about it. Haven't done this for a bit. Stop it, Kier. Get some goddamn help. Kier's a great guy, but Kier, the hell's wrong with you, man? This is not the first time I've seen a dirty blonde with her pocket sticking out. That's all I can talk about until the cases are settled. But stop thinking about it, Kier. So, Finn basically is upset because they are going to try to bring in new members. I guess no new members. No wire hangers. Also, I found it funny that Finn's over there. Carlito's playing, I guess, the new WWE 2K game. I don't really give a shit. And Liv and Dominic are like 5 feet away from Finn talking about him. They could have been across the hall and he would have been able to hear them. But Finn's like, did I hear my name? Yeah, you did. Whatever, it's fine. So, Steiner was in a TurboTax ad, Braun Steinbreaker, that is. Styles and Dominic had a fairly decent match. AJ is back on the Randy Orton diet. Look, I'm not judging. You do whatever the fuck you want, but they're really lax on the policy now, aren't they? So Styles ends up getting, the win with the Styles Clash. It wasn't a bad match. It was what it was. It served its purpose. And then Steiner runs in, and Dominic ends up taking a spear because Styles sensed it. He sensed getting it from behind from the Steiner community. AJ Styles felt it coming. I'm mature. I didn't laugh a lot. So, you know what? If we're going to go with a multi-man match at WrestleMania, and we're going to build up challengers, I'm actually honestly all for that. It gets people on the card, and at least it would be a showcase for Steiner. I mean, I'm not usually a fan of multi-man matches, but this might be the way to do it. You need to juice things up with the Intercontinental title. So Ivy was telling Dakota that she was telling the Creeds first they need to win gold, and then telling Dakota she's going to win gold. Why have Ivy cut a promo if she can't? Bring back managers, please. Bless her, she's trying, but come on. Dakota Kai then took on Ivy Nile, and Ivy Nile was all set to win this contenders match to take on Lyra Valkyria, who, dear God, Lyra, with respect, my goodness, Lyra. Good grief. Good God, y'all. Anyway, she was at ringside, and yeah, Ivy was all set to face her, eliminated her from the Royal Rumble, had been confronting her. And, yeah, Dakota won. Logic. It is what it is. But, yeah, build up Ivy to, possibly, be in a multiple-person match at WrestleMania. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think Becky's returning on the 3rd, the March 3rd edition. I mean, if she's not back by Mania, I'll be amazed because they don't necessarily need to juice it up, but I think Lyra versus Becky would be nice to see. Unless they hold off until SummerSlam. Becky can do what the fuck she wants. She's not a new deal. Yeah, it was a match. The crowd went pretty quiet. But Lyra, my word. Lyra versus Dakota next week. Alright, so Gunther then walks through the crowd, mocking everybody. Says, performing for you would be like reading, Shakespeare to a dog. Okay, Charlotte actually has some smart people there. I don't know how many, but, I mean, there were enough in the crowd, they were popping for everything. I kid, of course. Charlotte actually is a very nice city, from what I've heard. He's cutting a promo. The crowd hated it, booing him like crazy, but Gunther is very, very good, and he asked Pat, hey, could Jay beat me? And it looked like he was going to chop Pat. If only he would. Anything to remove Pat from commentary at this point, because I'm sick of him. Jay shows up, a fracas, a melee, a brawl. Briefly, there we go. Kathy Kelly and her Lois Lane. Oh, God. Oh. Good God. Good fucking grief, what a gorgeous woman she is. I mean, seriously. And Kathy's great. She's, a great interviewer, but my God. What a captivatingly gorgeous woman that is. Talking to Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel were seen leaving the scene of the crime where Jade got laid out by Bianca. If it is not by Bianca, I will be amazed. Because Bianca was quick to put the finger in Liv. Put the finger at Liv. Moving on. So anyway, Penta gets a big pop and takes on Pete Turdoon. In a match that was fine. Big Penta chance. And then the Glory of the Kaiser shows up. A head scissors to the inside. That was pretty nice. Pete Dunne did hit a nice bomb. 1-2-3, or 1-2 rather. Kaiser did end up doing a distraction. It looked like Penta was going to get pinned, but no. He ends up getting knocked off the apron. Made in Mexico, Penta driver, whatever you want to call it. 1-2-3. And then suddenly they're in a fracas. So the Brits, the Germans, and the Mexicans are fighting again. It's like Winston Churchill is turned over in his grave. I'm innocent. I was only following orders. Everyone hates me. If anybody gets that reference, you guys are going to hate me. So there we are. Watch this lead to Phoenix showing up. Because I've heard that Phoenix actually might be released. Or is getting released soon. And honestly, it's about goddamn time Khan maybe acquiesces to just letting people go. It would take people off of his books that he doesn't need to pay anymore. Anyway, I'd say the same thing if WWE was holding somebody else, just there and not let them go somewhere else without an intention to use them. Kathy is with Jay. Again, my God, Kathy. Fuck. Jay is more serious. At least I think. I was too distracted by Kathy. And then Roxanne. All I see is the Prodigy. Breathe the pressure. Well, he doesn't anymore. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, that smacked my bitch up. And what others? Firestarter. What other songs did the Prodigy have? So, the War Raiders want revenge. I want revenge on whoever decided that the War Raiders should be the tag team champions in 2025. Raquel then took on Roxanne, and dear God, Raquel sucks. Holy fucking shit. What has she not learned in like 5 or 6 years? 5 years, whatever. Jesus. Chamber qualifier match. It's David versus Goliath. There were 2 dives by Roxanne later. A DDT. Bianca and Naomi show up, channeling the Clovers from Bring It On. I kept wondering why the outfits look familiar, and I haven't watched Bring It On forever, which is weird because I love that movie. I need to rewatch that at some point. And Liv got rocked, just clocked and boop, 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 and then Pop Rocks wins it. So at least Roxanne won. Her Cinderella run is continuing. She literally lost on Saturday. It's fine. And Kathy is with Rollins about facing Finn. Karrion Kross then shows up because that's what this show requires, is somebody talking a bunch of nonsense that's going nowhere. Io then is preparing, to face Rhea and is in a pool. This is not what I had in mind when I thought of the term Io getting wet. So anyway, New Day are here, getting booed heavily, very booed, very heavily, much boo, such wow. Kofi then says, I never left, unlike Ray. I actually forgot that Ray left in 2014 and came back in 2018. And after how he got treated at the 2014 Rumble, I don't blame him for leaving. So, Kofi's beard without the mustache goatee part is diabolical, by the way. But nevertheless, be happy that we didn't old yeller him because Ray's out for a bit. But then here's the rest of the LWO. Dragon Lee, Wild, and Cruz Doza. I think it's Cruz. Penelope Cruz is here. And yeah, they do a rundown. And somebody said that they might actually get Omos to be the third man. Oh, great. Edward James Omos. Because that's what the New Day needs. Anyway, Finn's new theme is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Also, yes, Bianca and Naomi talked a little bit about, hey, when it comes down to us, one of us is going to win the chamber. I'm guessing that Bianca's going to accidentally eliminate Naomi. Rollins and Finn had a chamber qualifier. There's a pretty good match. It did start off with a jump start and a pedigree pretty quickly. And Finn targeted... just beat up Seth, targeted his ribs. Rollins targeted Finn's knee. And good stuff for what it was. I mean, the crowd got into it. They kept the pace up. Finn wasn't going to win this, but they at least did a good job with the near falls. Except for the very close 3 count where the crowd was chanting, "Ref, you suck." Why were all the cell phone lights on? I mean, it was cool. I was just curious. It was weird. So, the Balor Stomp 1, 2, the Coupe de Royce Gracie, that's what I'm going to call it. But anyway, the Balor Stomp 1, 2, and a kick out, and then immediate roll up 1, 2, and then Seth Stomp 1, 2, 3. See, 1 of Seth's feet is, stronger than 2 of Seth's feet, or Rollins, or Balor's feet. I'm tired. I've been up since 4 a.m. Forgive me. Forgive me if I don't know whose feet are whose. My left foot, always better than the Irish one. Doo-doo. Okay, so that's it. So next week, again, if I do end up reviewing Raw, it will be up later because of the mystery movie, and the same goes for the March 3rd episode. And then onwards to the Raw after WrestleMania, and then bi-weekly. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Retland, and I'll see you soon.